What if the biggest breakthrough in life don't come from success, but through the pain we never wanted to face? Welcome to Lessons from Failures, the show where we turn pain into power and failures into purpose. Hi, my name is Mosabella. I am an entrepreneur and a woman who believes that your past does not define your future unless you let it. And today's guest is the living proof of that. Dr. Heather Skeens is a renowned eye surgeon and now the #1 best-selling author of Unshackled. But today, we are not just talking about her accomplishments. We are going deeper into the moment that she had to fight for herself, reclaim her voice, and rise from the very pain meant to keep her small. This is the story behind the bestseller. And as you listen, I want you to reflect what part of the story that needs to be unshackled. And this is Lesson from Failures. Welcome, Dr. Heather Skeens.
Thank you, Mosa. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. I know that your flight was not a smooth flight. You just got here this morning.
About 2 a.m., yes.
Oh my gosh, I am so sorry.
But I got here safely. That's all that matters.
Yes. And you showed up.
And I showed up, yes.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Well, I am grateful that you are here and thank you for being here. And congratulations. I want to say it again. Congratulations on being the #1 bestseller. And I know that you just launched your book for just 2 days and then you got that status.
Yes, yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I was so grateful and honored to have such support behind my book.
Okay.
Really, it was overwhelming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so then tell me then, I know that, you're a doctor, right? So
Yes.
people, just go around and they have different doctors in their lives. They have the eye doctor, the ear doctor, the heart doctor, the regular doctor, right? So what is the #1, do you think, what is the #1 misconception that people have about doctors?
I believe people think that that we only do what we do for the money, that we make a lot of money and that's the only reason that we do it. And that is absolutely false. And, I outlay a lot of that in my book, but doctors, the majority of us go into medicine, not because our parents pushed us there, but because we truly want to help people. Right. We start out as imagine a college student, a young, naive college student who just wants to make the world better, who wants to help people and has a fascination with anatomy and the human body and learning everything they can to help someone that's sick. A lot of us have maybe taken care of people growing up. We're natural caregivers.
Natural caregivers.
Yeah.
Right, that's from the heart.
That's from the heart.
So you start with a very good intention.
Right, right. We start very naive, a lot of us not knowing what we're getting into. We just have a big heart and we want to help people. And you see a lot that doctors are looked at as having bad bedside manners or maybe being brash or maybe being short with their patients. And so we're viewed as people that are just in it for the money and that we don't care about the people that we're taking care of.
You're right, because most doctors come in and out. When you went to the hospital, they come in, they spend 5 minutes and then they left.
Yes.
And then, everybody, especially, the family members said, oh, he doesn't care or she doesn't care.
Right, that's right. And that's absolutely not true. It's that we have to care for so many people and there's only one of us and such limited time. So I tell my patients this all the time when they come in. I'm off to the next person, right? But I'm giving them 100% of my attention when I'm there, and your patient never leaves you. So a doctor is like a mother who has thousands and thousands and thousands of patients. You may think that just because you had a brief interaction with your doctor that's all the time they've given you, but that's 100% not true. Doctors, myself, we take everyone home with us every day when we go home.
Wow, that's a lot to take home with.
That's a lot. That lives 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. There's
not all
no
doctors,
vacation.
Though. Not all doctors, just the good ones.
Their majority of doctors are very good in caring for their patients, of course. And just like in every field that exists, you have good and bad.
Right.
But the majority are very good and really care about their patients.
Yeah.
And there's so many people to help. if you spent an hour with each person, you could only take care of 8 people a day, maybe 7, and there's only so many doctors available.
That's true.
And as I speak of in my book, a very large projected shortage by the year 2030 to 2034 that's continuing to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you always, growing up, right, did you always know that you wanted to be a doctor?
No.
No?
I had no doctors in my family.
Uh-huh.
I never thought about it. My dad got me the game Operation when it first came out, where you remove the pieces from the tiny slots without setting off the buzzer, and it was very easy for me.
Yeah.
I liked it, but I didn't understand why it was a challenging game because I never set the buzzer off. And my mom showed me, actually only in the last few years, an eye model, like a 1970s eye model that I played with as a child, but I have no memory of it at all. So no, I actually went to college thinking I was going to be a pharmacist. My uncle was a pharmacist, and I thought that's what I'm going to do, follow in his footsteps. And it was running into a former high school classmate on the street at the University of Kentucky who explained to me why he was going to be a doctor. He was going into medicine. He told me that it was the highest profession that you could achieve and the highest calling that you could attain. And I thought, I want that. I want to do that. So that day I changed my major from pharmacy to pre-med, and that started my path towards medicine.
So what I learned from the whole story is that you're a high achiever.
Overachiever, yes.
Overachiever.
And I think that's true of many physicians. We're chronic overachievers, yes.
So I know that in this book, and again, this is the book, right?
Yes.
Unshackled. And this dress looks familiar. That's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
You look gorgeous in this color.
Thank you.
Now, and I know that in this book you talk about just one story.
Right.
But I'm sure that in your real life, right,
Yes.
there's a lot of other stories.
Yes.
So I don't know if you're willing to share if there's any story that when you take care of patients or when you took care of that patient, you felt like somehow you failed that patient.
Sure. There is a patient. I mean, I have a number of things that I can think of, but there is a particular patient that I think of. There was a young teenager, I believe about 14 years old. There's a condition of the cornea. I'm a cornea transplant surgeon. The cornea is the front window of the eye, the part that people put their contacts on. There's an inherited condition called keratoconus that is progressive, that usually starts in the teenage years. And if left untreated, progresses to the need for cornea transplantation. And really just prior to 2015, we had to watch, cornea surgeons, we had to watch our patients progress to the need for cornea transplant because in the United States, we had no treatment to slow the progression of that disease. A treatment that was started in Europe prior to 2015 and had success began in the US around 2015 called cornea cross-linking. And this is a procedure where we can use vitamin B2, riboflavin, very safe, eye drops applied to the eye for about 30 minutes, give a drop every 2 minutes for 30 minutes. And then there's a small light, a UV light of a certain wavelength that you apply that the patient looks at. And the combination of the light and the vitamin help to stabilize the collagen in the cornea and strengthen it so that the cornea stops progressing. And what the cornea does is it bends and flexes and becomes steep and peaked like a mountain. That's what keratoconus is. It's a very severe, irregular form of astigmatism. This treatment stops that. And so basically it's miraculous because we now can stop our patients from needing a cornea transplant. This patient, we know that in this age group they're going to progress. So the standard of care is to offer this treatment. This patient's insurance company wouldn't cover the procedure.
No.
And they would not cover the procedure, which is several $1,000s out of pocket or to the insurance normally, and the patient pays a portion, but they wouldn't cover it at all. And the patient didn't have the money. And I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, this is crazy. Like, they would rather you progress to the need for cornea transplant, which is your quality of life is less. It affects the quality of life of those around you. You can't work, you can't see, you can't go to school, you can't function. It's more costly. You'd rather see this disease process get worse before paying for a cornea transplant instead of helping us do something to prevent it.
That's right.
Which makes no sense, which is the whole medicine, which is a lot I speak about in my book. It makes no sense in that we would rather a person be sick and treat them after they get sick with an expensive therapy other than providing something to prevent them from having a problem in the first place. So this patient was devastated. Obviously, we're talking about a teenager here. The parents were more devastated than the teenager who's grasping what it means. And I put some thought into this, and the mom was crying. She was just so upset. And I put some thought into this, and then I just performed the procedure with no cost to the patient because the benefit is so much. I couldn't sit and watch this. I couldn't watch this, and I felt like I failed them because I was not able to. My office was not able to, as much as we argued and fought, sent letters and called, we just could not get this approved. Just didn't make any sense.
But that was beyond your control.
Beyond my control.
Therefore, you just did what you could.
Did what I could do.
You did that, and that was free of charge for those, and I'm sure that they were very appreciative.
Yeah, I could not have the resources to help this person and the knowledge and the ability to help this person and send them out the door. Where were they going to go?
Right. But then you see that at least, that one patient, or I'm sure that you've done this for like a few of them, they somehow in life, they got the opportunity to see you, right? Yes. So how about other people, millions of people out there, that not just the eyes, but other conditions, that they needed the help. Right. However, they just did not have somebody who could help them. Right. Right? Right,
yes. It's very sad.
I know that, like in this book, and there was, the chapter 14 in this book. And you wrote, Bureaucracy is a moment rooted in physician liberation. Because Bureaucracy isn't just a franchise, it's a movement. A movement built by doctors for doctors. So tell me more about that.
Sure. Bureaucracy is the name of my ophthalmic franchise. I created Bureaucracy to give a work-life balance to doctors and to give the doctor-patient relationship back to patients. And so that doctors could take care of themselves because of the way that we practice medicine in my clinic, in my franchise, practice surgery. We give doctors the time to take care of themselves, because if you can take care of yourself, then you can better take care of someone else. And in turn, that makes you better for your patient. The
100%.
Patient gets better care.
100%, yes.
Yes. And also, we're not rushed with our patients. One of the things that we pride ourselves on is our patients are like our family. When they come in, we like to make them feel like family.
At your practice?
At my practice.
Gotcha.
And this extends over into my franchised units. When the patients come in, people fear loss of eyesight only second to death. And so you think about it, you're told you need eye surgery. That's very scary.
That's right.
A lot of people are coming to see an eye surgeon because they've already been told they need surgery, maybe by their optometrist, or maybe they just can't see and they know they may need surgery. So they're very scared coming in.
Yeah, of course.
So the whole purpose of everything that I've designed is to alleviate fear for patients around eye surgeries so that when they leave my office, even after they've been told they need eye surgery, they're looking forward to it, not dreading it, and they're not fearful.
Very hard to do. I don't know if we ever look forward to the eye surgery. I don't know.
You come and see me as a patient.
Then look forward to the eye surgery. That's very nice. Yeah, lovely.
Thank you. But some of the ways that we are different than a regular eye clinic is that my environment is a spa-like environment. So we have a spa-like atmosphere. We practice preventative medicine as well. So when a patient comes to see me with an eye problem, the eyes are not separate from the rest of the body. we're trained and taught that they're separate in medical school. But the eyes are with the rest of the body. So anything that affects your body is going to affect your eye. So in order to treat your eye properly when you have a disease or something wrong, we need to look at the root cause. What's going on in the body that's causing this? Where is this coming from? And so that's another big thing that we do. We have a functional wellness program as a part of our clinic where we look for root causes and help the patient address those, which often involves whole body healing, not just eye surgery.
That's wonderful.
Yes. And something else that we do are facial aesthetics. A lot of people naturally are asking me about fine lines, wrinkles around the eyes, sagging eyelids.
That's right.
You know, these things not only interfere with vision, but they interfere greatly with your quality of life. Because
absolutely.
If you don't feel like you look good, then you don't perform well in the world,
of course.
right?
Yes, absolutely.
And, you know, we don't offer anything that is not holistic and natural. All the treatments that I offer help to boost the body's own collagen. But these are ways that doctors can, with my franchise, they can both practice medicine as an eye surgeon, but they also can treat a person from a whole perspective if they choose. And they also have other avenues and things they can do to break up their day that's not just operating on eyes.
And I think, you know, what's very interesting is that, you know, you didn't think about, okay, let's do another, you know, adventure, right?
Right.
Those actually came to you, those ideas came to you naturally from the demand from your patients.
That's correct.
Right?
Every one of them, 100%. Patient inspired all of them.
Absolutely.
And we continue to evolve. And so that's one of the things that we pride ourselves on is we constantly are evolving and changing, because if you're not, then you're not growing. So, and really, yeah, it's the patients that give us the inspiration and tell us what they need.
That's wonderful. So with Bureaucracy movement, you said, and that's a franchise, but it's a movement. Now you encourage the doctors to take better care of themselves.
Yes.
And by having the system that is very efficient, where allows themselves to have some time for themselves, right? They will then take better care of the patients, right? And you have the system that in place for them to do that, so they can work on the business and not in the business all the time,
That's
right?
correct. That's correct.
And then would help with the preventative care,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then holistic.
Yes.
That's my understanding. Is that right?
That is 100% correct.
That's
I have a holistic model.
That's right. Okay.
So the other thing that we do for doctor well-being is that, you know, I have a number of resources with respect to physical health, spiritual health, mental health. You know, doctors, our mental health suffers greatly.
No way.
That we, you know, PTSD, burnout, insomnia, this all starts in medical school with everything that we're exposed to. Chronic sympathetic nervous system overdrive from just having to go in our training. And our bodies begin to break down. And specifically, you see that happen usually starting around the age of 40, and then it just escalates and things just continue to spiral down. This is where a lot of times you see doctors wanting to change careers, becoming very disillusioned, burnout. Suicide rates are very high among physicians, especially women physicians. And so, yes.
I've heard that. Now, and then, you know, you're speaking just from, you know, the female physician standpoint, or does that happen to men as well?
Men as well, men and women, although women are a little more susceptible, but both. So our model helps to provide direction and resources and guidance for helping in all of those aspects and making the physician better. So, yes, so we empower physicians. Bureaucracy stands for Bold Entrepreneurs Who Live Life with Autonomy, Sovereignty, Emancipation, and Evolution, because we are evolving medicine.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And I call doctors and patients in my book to join my movement, the Bureaucracy movement, where we unite together and stand up against insurance companies and pharmaceutical companies and everyone that's just shackling us.
That's right.
Yeah, shackling all of us. Everyone needs to become unshackled.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for
You're
telling
welcome.
me all of that. So these are the things that we don't even know. Like, we we looked at physicians and maybe other professions too, in a certain lens.
Yes.
And that may be colored by different perceptions or maybe wrong or, informations.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
So I know that you have 2 sons.
Yes.
What do they think about this book? Are they so proud and happy?
They are so proud. I'm going to tell you, I'm very proud of my book and all of the support. But the thing I'm proud of most, my oldest son, I cannot impress him with anything.
How old is he?
He'll be 15 at the end of July.
Wow, okay.
I have never been able to impress him with anything that I have done. I'm a physician. I have 3 black belts in Taekwondo.
You do?
I'm a super mom. I mean, the list goes on, but he's never impressed.
Wow.
When I got bestseller with my book, and I told him, he looked it up on Amazon, and when he saw that, he actually called me ecstatic. Mommy, you did it. You're bestseller. Oh my gosh. And he was so happy and proud of me, and he told me. And that meant more to me than anything. Because he's very hard to impress.
Right.
Yes.
And then because he's very good in sport, right? And maybe that's why he had high standard for himself.
Yes. Yes. Both of my boys are tremendous athletes. They play baseball, basketball, soccer, tennis. Baseball is their favorite. So they're both tremendous athletes. Yes.
And I met your younger son.
You did. And
he is, oh my God, he's adorable and he's so mature and so well behaved and so smart. And
Thank you. And very witty. And he told me that if I make him mad, he's going to go on Amazon and give me a 1-star review of my book. So he's holding that over my head now.
So cute. Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that. So share with us now. This is a great achievement and congratulations again. I knew that it did not just, it was not just a book, right? It's your heart.
Right.
It's your soul and you pour into it.
Yes.
And it's your real life experience.
Yes.
And then you made few people cry, or maybe all of us. Whoever read this book. So be prepared to cry. But it's a happy ending, right?
Yes.
Is there a happy ending?
There's hope.
There's hope.
At the end of the book, there's hope. Because as a physician, one of the things that I feel is so critical for all physicians to do is always provide hope. No matter what the diagnosis that someone has is. Just like in the book, I speak of my brother-in-law who I took care of as he passed away. More important is to give him support and love and hope for something, even a peaceful passing. It's so important for physicians to relay that for their patients.
Yeah.
So there's always hope.
That is so profound. Yeah. That is so profound. So what's next? What are you working on next?
After people have been reading my book, I've had so many people reaching out to me that want to tell me their stories, both patients and physicians who resonate with what I'm saying, and they want to share their personal experiences. So
beautiful.
It's so beautiful that I'm so, the book is doing exactly what I wanted it to do. I want people to be able to talk and open up about their experiences and share them. And because there's power in numbers, right? So the more of us that are speaking and recognizing what's going on, that's how we make change.
Right.
And so I would love to write a book sharing people's stories that they tell me, both patients and doctors, and putting them together and sharing that. So I'm going to start to document those and speak with people that are willing to contribute.
Well, then, that's going to be another bestseller.
Yes, absolutely.
And
Overachiever.
And I think because those are like real life stories.
Yes, right.
Those are true stories. And then, people just like you said, right? It's your voice.
Right.
And it's just something that is, it doesn't feel right in your heart. And then you had to call out for the movement.
Right.
Right.
That's right. I actually, and I wanted to mention, I began working in last November with a spiritual business mindset and manifestation coach, Ashley Vaughn. She was amazing. After working with her for 3 months, that's when I got the inspiration to write my book. I had no plans on writing a book. It wasn't, I thought maybe I would someday, but even the topic, I had no plan about. Through journaling and releasing blocks and journaling what I want to be, what I want my purpose to be, what I want my future to be. This book came to me out of nowhere. And that's what I say in the introduction. As I wrote it, it came through me. It didn't come from me.
Yeah.
I just typed and typed and typed, and it would wake me up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning that I would need to write. I would need to say something. I finally got smart and realized, hey, you're a doctor, you know how to dictate. So why don't you just talk what you're thinking into Microsoft Word and then just go back and do the spelling check instead of sitting there and trying to type everything out. I got it done a lot faster, but I actually wrote the book in about 2 months.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's amazing. But see, it has always been there.
It's always been there.
Always been there. It's just that you needed somebody to just say, hey, why don't you do this?
Yes.
Right? And I think that applies to most everything in life, don't you think?
Yes.
That you know that it's always in you, your potential.
Yes.
Everything's already in you. You just need to say, hey, this is, what we should do and take the first step.
We need mentors,
Yes.
and I can't advocate for that enough, especially for physicians.
Yes.
Patients too, but you need a mentor, whether that's someone that you're paying, whether it's a friend. You need someone to keep you on track. And I have many, many mentors, you being one of them. Exceptional.
Thank you. And
Yes.
you are also my mentor,
Oh,
right?
thank you.
So that's wonderful.
But that's how we grow. It's by
That's how
having
we
other
grow.
people hold us accountable, and by holding other people accountable, that's how we grow.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Continue to learn every day.
Yes.
So if today is, and I don't think that it would be, right? But
Yes.
if today was the last, the only chance that people can hear from you,
Yes.
what would be your message?
Sure. I would tell people that you always need to be your own advocate. So when you go to a physician and you get a diagnosis, you need to listen to your gut, and you need to always be your own advocate. You need to do your research. You need to get multiple opinions. You need to constantly stay on top of things for yourself. And you need to never lose hope, no matter what the diagnosis is, no matter what someone has told you. There's always a ray of hope somewhere, and you need to find it, because that's how we heal. We need to be positive. So that would be my number one piece of advice: is be your own advocate, love yourself, care enough about yourself to take care of you, because you're the one who's going to do that more than anyone else. You should be. Right?
So true.
Yeah.
And you said it powerfully in this book.
Yes.
So, well, that's been wonderful. And thank you for sharing your stories.
Yes. Thank you for
your
having me.
thoughts and your expertise. The whole thing about you explained about the eyes, I was like, I had to go and find the dictionary, right? But thank you for all of the knowledge that you share.
Yeah,
It's
thank
such a
you.
pleasure having you.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it so much. Thank you for letting me share my story.
And thank you for being here with us. So remember, there's always a hope, and be the advocate of yourself. And I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.